Hi, it's Neil Walters of Neil's Videos, and today I'm going to show you how to build a nuclear power plant in a non-mountain area. Okay, so they just came out within the last couple of months with these things called shallow mines, and I have three of them here. I started with one, and I realized that really wasn't enough to. Let me click on. Oh, there you have to click. You can't click on the outside. You have to click right there. Okay, so this is my shallow mine, and let's see. I think if I have any spots where I could show you how to build one. It has to be built on the border, but not on the water. So, like, I couldn't put one anywhere here on this. This is a river. So I have no border spots. Well, like right there, there's an example. I can get rid of this little constructor house or builder house. And I may not actually build it, but this is let me show you how it works. So if you try to build it somewhere else, it's going to likely be grayed out here. And so here's your shallow mine. And let's see where's the other mine? Iron mine. Okay, so the iron mine is the main one. So they actually are the same price. They have the same building capabilities. I think the shallow mine runs half as fast. But the point is, if the iron mine only works next to a mountain, okay, and they both require paved roads. But if you're in a forest or a desert, for example, you can now have a mine, and you can craft these three things in your mine. And what you're going to need is iron in order to make steel, in order to make a nuclear power plant. Okay, so back to my town here, and then here's my steel plant. I had this running like for a week or two now, so I let it run for a few days or parts of days. So now I have 12 steel. I think I need 10 steel for the power plant. And here's the steel mill. It's hard to say, steel mill, and it basically takes in so many iron and makes 10 iron, 5 energy, and water drums. You're gonna have the dumb water facility somewhere on your board here, and that's going to make the the water put in the warehouse, and that's going to be needed to make your um, some of your water. So actually, here I built a water pump, and the water pump can be next to the river, and that way you get water from that instead of a pond. So that would provide some of the water it needs, but it still needs 5. So I think that just provides 2, if I remember. And so now let's look at oh, and also when you do this, sorry, these mines here, when you hit craft again, this is how you make iron. You just do craft and you select iron. We're not interested in chromium and limestone for a power plant. And now I want to go to Dub Step Rod's playbook, and let's actually look up what a nuclear power plant can do. So I always forget if it's an object or an item, but he has a very good spreadsheet here. I've never done a separate video on it, but maybe someday I should. He's got one, but he keeps adding to it. And he keeps it. He does a really good job of keeping it up. I actually did an interview with him once. I was going to put on YouTube, but I forgot to press the record. I didn't forget, but I thought the record was on when it wasn't. So anyway, so here is oh, that's just regular power plant. Let's look for the word nuclear. All right, there, nuclear power. So it's going to cause shade and give energy, 4 energies. It's really not that big of a deal. Um, so how much does a regular power plant give? Just for the price of it, it's kind of ridiculous. It's $10 million. So, but yeah, if you've been playing for a while in your town and you have the money to blow, why not? You got to do something with it, right? Actually, you don't have to do anything with it, but anyway. Uh, let's see. So a regular power plant puts out 3 energy, and it's 250,000, right? So that doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. Like if this is going to be like 25 times more pricey, it seems like it should give more than 4 energies. I think the other thing it'll do though, it will create some energy batteries without using oil. Okay, so let's go back over here. So normally when you have a power plant like this, you can actually hit craft and then you can create batteries every 10 seconds. Wow, that's pretty fast. but it will require crude oil. Okay, and I have no crude oil pumps on my town right now, and the reason why is I have this NFT here, which is called the Haunted East Wing, and it provides crude oil to the spaces around it. So this power plant here is getting to crude oil from that haunted east wing thing. Okay. And so that's why by having that NFT, which I paid for, I don't have to have any wasted space on my board for the crude oil pumps. Okay. So if I'm going to replace one of these with a nuclear power plant, the one I would want to replace would be this one. So let's just go ahead and do it. This is more of a teaching thing. It's like I really don't think I really need it, but it will give a little more energy to these candy shops over here. And I don't know if it's going to help my wooden mills or lumber mills over there. But just like, why not? Let's just do it. So I think the price and the money back from it doesn't make a lot of sense. So it's 10 million bucks. See, I guess I had 24 million. Wow. And the other thing, we're going to need some iron as well. So right now, most of my iron is going to make steel. So I'm going to have to turn my steel mill off for a few minutes, let it catch up on the iron into the warehouse. Now you can see here, it's going to go have together. It only needs 5 steel, not 10. That's interesting. 5 steel, 5 iron, and 2 to 5 energy. So I might have gone a little overboard with all my little shallow mines here. So now that I've got all that I need, unless I plan to build another power plant, I really don't need these shallow mines anymore. I'm going to pause for a minute. Okay, and by the way, I turned these shallow mines back on since I don't have any iron in my warehouse. I turned these back on. They were paused. So these 3 will have to make 5 iron, and that might take a few minutes. You can see here, for some reason, this one's green and this one is in the yellow zone. So I'm wondering why he's yellow. Let's see, is this? Oh, it's probably the pond right here. That's it. Yeah, ponds can cause what they call flooding in the mines. So by putting that right there close to the pond, it's hurting it actually. So it would have been smarter if I would have maybe built it over here. See that one taking out iron in about a minute, plus however long it takes for him to gather the different pieces of the different products it needs. Right now, my power plant is waiting on 4 iron, and still the last piece of battery energy is being carried in there right now. I will pause again the video. And I also see down here, this mine was probably a terrible idea to put it there because it's down by the river, and I think that's causing it flooding. It could be the water pump here could be causing it flooding as well. So again, that was the first one I built, and I realized it wasn't fast enough. I never actually looked until today to notice that these were green and that one's red. So this is why you keep doing practice games to keep learning and improving your skills and your knowledge of how everything works together and how you place things, so that next time when you play, you'll do it smarter. Okay, so now we have a nuclear power plant. Yay. And again, the main reason you might want that is when you don't have one of these oil producers like the Haunted East Wing. So now when you do look at the craft behind it, see it's going to kick out a battery or an energy every, whatever, 15, 16, 20 seconds, something like that. And that's going to give you probably more than you need. Like in my case, I'm actually getting plenty of energy from all my other things. So by turning that on, of course, what could happen is your warehouses can fill up with batteries, okay? And that's not a good thing either. The other thing now is it would be passing, I think, 1 more energy than it was before to these candy shops over here. So that's a very, very slight benefit to pay the 10 million for. So I don't know why that thing is so expensive, but anyhow, that is the nuclear power plant, and that's the first time I've built. I think the other time I've used it when I was doing a steel build. That's very common when you do steel All these steel plants need a lot of energy, so you try to build nuclear power plants around them. I think I only did that one time, maybe two. Um, yep, so that's the nuclear power plant, and hope that helps you. And now you know about shallow mines and how they can be used. And we'll see you in the next video.